Hello, my sweet friends. Welcome back. Today we are finally going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of our social studies. I'm so excited. I hope you guys are too. So we are just going to start off with the beginning of our lessons. This is how it's going to be every single day from here on out, even when you guys are in the classroom. So today is August 25th, 2020. We are going to start our On This Day in History. I am so excited to finally be able to bring this to you guys. It is something that I've been wanting to start since day one, but we got to slowly get into it. So today we are finally getting there. I'm so excited. So here it goes. So on this day in history on August 25th, Englishman Matthew Webb became the first known person to successfully swim the 21-mile English Channel in 1875. Now, the English Channel is the big body of water that you see in the middle of England. You know, it's in the middle of their tourist area. It is this huge body of water. It is 21 miles long, and this man, Matthew Webb, swam the whole thing successfully. That is nuts, but it is a pretty cool fun fact. So now I want to kind of go into what we are going to be doing today. So we're going to go over our We Will and I Will objectives. So today we will assess page 1 of Social Studies Weekly and identify the vocabulary. And your I will analyze the vocabulary from page 1. So you guys, we are going to finally get into our Social Studies Weekly. Now, you guys have dealt with Social Studies Weekly in your past grade levels. However, we're going to go into them a little bit more. We're going to make them more fun, but it's still going to be the same format. So don't worry, it's nothing too stressful, I promise. It'll be great. So my important message to you today is you are awesome. You are awesome. Keep up the good work and just be patient. I know some things can be a little grueling and just frustrating, but you guys are awesome and you're going to get through it. Just be patient. I promise we're going to get through it. So what I want to start off with you guys is just getting your schema all back into gear. So I drew you a little brain. It doesn't look like a brain. It looks a little funky, but we're going to activate your brain. We're going to get it moving, and we're going to start getting into gear with social studies, okay? So what I want you to do, I want you to up here with your thinking hat, and I want you to put it on, and I want you to start getting your gears going. So we're going to roll our head, and now we're ready. All right, I'm not going to make you do too much on our little videos, but in person, you guys are going to be doing these actions with me, and we're going to get rolling with our schema. So for those of you who need a small refresher, your schema is just your background knowledge. So everything that you have learned in the past. So what you learned in 4th grade were a bunch of fun and interesting facts about Texas history. Okay, you guys were learning about what the Texas flag means, oh wow, lost it. Our state flower, our state bird, our state song, our state motto, all that cool stuff, which I find completely fascinating. So we may touch back in and dabble into a little bit of what Texas history was, which of course you will see that because in 5th grade, you guys are learning the United States history. So we are going over the whole shebang of US history. So this is going to be a lot, but I promise I'm not going to just throw it at you. We're going to take a step with it together. We're going to go through it together, and we will make it an easy transition, but I promise you might like social studies a little bit more later on. Okay, that's at least my hope, is that you guys like social studies a little bit more. So with that being said, so before I get started, so our we will is to read through our page 1 of Social Studies Weekly. I am going to show you guys your Social Studies Weekly page. You guys can find it on Clever. You'll be going through Clever to get to your Studies Weekly app. That is where you're going to find your Social Studies Weekly newspaper. So you guys are familiar with the newspapers. That's where you're going to find it. I will be linking it in your assignment. Don't worry, and you will have clear instructions, I promise. but I just wanted to mention it just a little bit in this video. So you guys are going to be able to pull up the newspaper and read along with me, but I'm going to be reading aloud page 1 of your Social Studies Weekly. We're going to start a little slow and we're going to be reading through it together, and then eventually we're going to get into summarizing. We're going to make it this whole amazing thing. So don't stress. I promise it's not a stressful thing. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to get more into it with you guys. So first off, I want to talk about your vocabulary. So these are going to be your key words that I want you to look for as we're going through reading page 1. So let's start. Okay, so one of the vocabulary words that you're going to see, by the way, I suggest that you get a piece of paper and a pencil so that you can write these down, because this is going to be very, very helpful for you later on with assignments later on, okay? Just a little hint there for you, okay? So your first, you can pause my video, by the way. You can pause it if you need to pause and go get your pencil and paper, but we're going to continue on in the meantime, okay? So pause me if you need to, but we're going to keep moving on. Okay, so your first vocabulary word is explorer. Now, explorer is someone who travels to all these beautiful and different places so that they can gain some geographical, meaning your different types of areas, and your scientific information. So your explorer, they travel, they like to go places, they like to find out new things. So just keep that in your mind, all right? Your next one, make sure you pause in between each vocabulary word if you need to write it down, okay? It's up here for you, so just go ahead and pause. But I'm going to keep moving on for you, okay? Okay, so number 2, age of discovery. So the age of discovery is a period of time where Europeans explored and mapped the world. So we're going to be talking about the New World first, which I will continue to tell you what that is in your vocabulary. But the age of discovery comes after we figure out the New World. Okay, but I want you to keep that in your noggin for me. So age of discovery is a period of time that Europeans explored and mapped the world. Okay, so this was from the 15th to the 17th century. We'll go more into our timelines later on, and you'll be able to kind of make sense of it. But for right now, just keep the main part in mind. Okay, so your next vocabulary word is Christianity. Now, Christianity is the religion that is based off of the life and teaching of Jesus Christ. And you're going to find this quite a bit in our reading today and in future readings. This was the main religion that was there in the New World. All right? So, your next vocabulary word is colony. Now, colony is a group of people who settle far from home, okay? They settle far from home and they maintain the same ties from their home country. So I will make sure to point out the whole colony part when we're reading today. So colonize. So if we know what colony is, colonize would be the process of creating a colony. Got that? Cool beans. All right, so now I'm going to switch sides because your New World vocabulary is right here. I wanted to show you guys what New World meant, just because if I say that the New World is on the Western Hemisphere and it is consisting of North and South America, you might not quite understand what I'm talking about. So I made a little visual for you here. It is your tiny little globe. Okay, so on this side, this is where Europe is, okay? It's not this whole entire side. You have Europe and this is Africa, but I just wanted to label Europe for you just because that's what's important a little bit right now, okay? So you have Europe and this little tiny section down here will be Africa. And then on this side, you have the top one, which is North America, and the bottom one, which is South America, okay? So on your globe, when we refer to the Western Hemisphere, that is this side, okay? We are in the Western Hemisphere. So where we are today, we're in the Western Hemisphere. That we are in North America, okay? That is where the United States is in North America. Kind of making a little bit sense? Yeah, yes, no. You guys will have to let me know in our Synchrolinus live meeting, okay? So you have the northern hemisphere, the southern hemisphere, the eastern hemisphere, and the western hemisphere. So when we refer to the western hemisphere, we're talking about North America and South America. When we want to talk about the eastern, we'll more than likely be talking about Europe, Asia, and Africa, okay? So with that being said, I'm going to get started reading page 1 for you guys. I will show you guys what page 1 is. That way you kind of know what we'll be looking at. So let's get going. All right. Oops. Okay. So this is page 1 of your Studies Weekly. So this is where we will begin in the new world. I'm going to be explaining to you guys kind of what is happening here. So here we go. Oh, magic mind powers, I made the phone stop. All right. So hopefully you guys have already paused the video and you have just kind of taken a minute to get your Social Studies Weekly page up. You should have already done so by going into Clever. I will make sure your instructions are there. So if you are already at this part, good job. If not, make sure you look back at your instructions. All right, let's begin. So how it all began in the New World. Remember, New World means we are in the Western Hemisphere where North America and South America are. All right. In 1492, an Italian sailor named Christopher Columbus sailed 3 ships from Spain across the Atlantic Ocean. Spain's king, King Ferdinand II, and Queen Elizabeth I supported Columbus, who hoped to find a faster trade route between Europe and Asia. Though he never reached Asia, Columbus did sail straight into land that became known as the New World, at least to the Europeans. It wasn't new to the people who already lived there, of course. 7 months after Columbus first set sail from Spain, he returned triumphantly to report to the king and queen. He brought back both gold and people his crew captured. The king and queen were very pleased to hear of Columbus's adventure and discoveries. Secretly, though, the two had believed there was little chance the Italian explorer would ever return. Now they hoped to use the information Columbus brought back to make Spain richer and more powerful. Spanish leaders planned further explorations of the New World. They sent Columbus and other explorers back across the ocean. The explorers' goals were not only to explore the new land, but also to set up settlements in the name of Spain and convert the native people to Christianity. The explorers made their way across the ocean. They found gold and excellent land to settle. Soon, talk of the New World reached other European powers like France and England, set adventures to explore North America in search of riches. Explorers claimed land for the royalty of their countries. These countries became richer and more powerful with each piece of land the explorers claimed, and they established colonies in the New World. Colonies are areas ruled by another country and not by its own people. European explorers also conquered, meaning to take over, the native people of the New World and introduced Christianity to them. Columbus' explorations marked a turning point in history. People from very different parts of the world began to communicate and trade with each other. Many European countries became rich and powerful after taking over the land and people of North America. The kings and queens of Europe invested great amounts of money in and gathered adventurers to further explore and conquer the New World. The age of discovery has begun. Amazing. So now that we have finished, hello here. Oh, there we go. Yep, there we go. All right. Now that we have finished reading through page 1, I just kind of want to touch base on the vocabulary just again. So we learned about the fact that Christopher Columbus is an explorer. He's someone who went and traveled. He came from Spain and traveled to what he thought was going to be Asia and traveled to what is North America. Now, was he the first one there? No, there were people already living there. And they wanted to welcome. However, Christopher Columbus wanted to take as many riches as he could and take it back to the king and queen. And he wanted to convert these people to Christianity. Now, that's a little extreme for an explorer, but hey, that's history for you, my friends. So, with that being said, did you hear at the end how it said the age of discovery has begun? So now we went from where we're discovering the new world and we're getting into the age of discovery. So remember, the age of discovery was a period of time where Europeans explored and mapped the world. So please keep all of this lovely stuff in your noggins. We got to keep our schema alive and keep it pumping and going. And I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the day. I'll see you later.